Have you ever wondered why some traits seem to run in the family? How often the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? There's a humorous dialogue between a father and son that circulates on the internet. The son asks, "Dad, why do you have white hair on your head?" The father replies, "Every time you misbehave and cause me worry, my hair turns white." The son then retorts, "Dad, you must have caused Grandpa a lot of worries then because his hair is completely white." While this is a joke in terms of logic, it does illustrate a point. The son has fully inherited and carried forward his father's way of thinking, knowing how to fight fire with fire. In China, there is a saying that goes, "A dragon breeds a dragon, a phoenix breeds a phoenix, and the offspring of a mouse can dig holes." This amusing yet profound proverb depicts the influence of heredity and family upbringing on a person. Firstly, heredity is explained by modern science as genetics. Biology generally believes that human behavior and thoughts are largely passed on to the next generation through genes. The saying, "You reap what you sow, the offspring of a mouse can dig holes as soon as it's born," is a manifestation of this inheritance. Neuroscientists once conducted an experiment where they exposed male rats to larger, more aggressive rats for 10 days. By the end of the experiment, the bullied rat became silent and lonely. To find out whether this effect would be passed on to the next generation, they paired these bullied rats with females. The offspring, despite never interacting with their fathers, showed high stress and clear signs of suppression once they matured. The researchers suggested that while changes in the rat's epigenetics were often erased, sometimes the affected genes were still passed on to the next generation and even to further generations. Secondly, there's the impact of the family environment on children. This is rather apparent. For instance, whether a person respects their parents and elders will directly reflect on their children. The children's behavior is like a mirror to their parents, revealing their qualities. The Bible says, "These commandments that I give you today are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up." Deuteronomy 6:6-7. This is a reminder for parents to engrave God's laws in their hearts. How many believers today have turned their homes into schools of reverence for God? Or do they believe this teaching responsibility should be passed on to schools, churches, Sunday schools, or even society? The most impactful teaching does not only come from the mouth, but also from the heart. If you love your children and want them to inherit your virtues, you must start learning God's words and strive to become a righteous person. In today's daily reading, we arrive at Proverbs chapter 20. Verse 7 discusses the relationship between parents and children in a family. The wise say, "The righteous lead blameless lives. Blessed are their children after them." May all brothers and sisters running in the Lord receive God's revelation and blessings from this verse.